Okay, today I want to do a video about things that I have learned 1 year in to this hiking, backpacking experience about buying budget gear and how sometimes buying a more expensive product for me wasn't worth it. And most of the time, buying the cheaper product ended up costing me more money. So let's start with the socks. I started out, I know you needed to wear wool socks and not cotton. So I found Wool IQ socks at Tractor Supply. They're $9.99. You got a pair of two. The problem that I had with these Wool IQ socks, they're merino wool. They work great. They're warm. Keep your feet warm even when they're wet. The problem is they don't last. You're going to end up with holes in the toes or holes in the heels of the socks. And you can see this isn't even a matching pair because each mate to this pair has already bit the dust and been thrown away. So I'm switching to what all the hikers are using, and that is the Darn Tough socks that, yes, they're $22, $25 a pair, but if you get a hole in these, you send them back to the company, they give you another pair of socks. This is an example of paying a little bit more money to get a product that's better and is going to last. Guaranteed for life, made in Vermont, baby. All right, moving on. I wanted a sit pad. I thought, well, who can afford a Thermarest? Well, I could afford a Thermarest. I didn't want to afford a Thermarest, so I paid $5 for a pair of two, came from China, pads. Now, this is absolutely better than nothing. But this type of material, it crushes down and it absorbs water just a little bit, okay? So in the end, if I'd spent $15, I could have got a Thermarest Z seat, better quality product. It is coated, and it's going to last me probably for as long as I hike, you know. Moving on, sleep system. Now, this is a personal preference. There's nothing wrong with either of these sleep systems. And to be quite honest, I love the weight of this sleep system, but I was spoiled on my last hiking trip. Senior Hiker 77 loaned me his Static V to sleep on. It's 30 inches wide. I am huge, okay? I'm the size of a freaking linebacker, guys. And the comfort level from sleeping on this versus this was tremendous. And sleeping in the backcountry on a hiking trip is a big deal. Now, will I always use the Climate V versus this? No. This is one of those deals where sometimes you want to go with the comfort, or maybe in the winter you want to use a little bit heavier sleeping pad and get that comfort. And I know they have a red version of this. It's even higher R value. It weighs more than this. I don't like the weight of this, and I don't like that the valves stick out on this. I don't like that about this product. I love the weight, and I love the valve on this Sleep and Go. That's a personal preference thing, guys. Hiking in the summer and lightweight backpacking, this one's going to be the one going with me. This shorter, like I got a weekend trip coming up and it's going to be cold, this one's coming with me. Moving on, tents. I originally bought a River Country Products Trekker 2.2 tent after watching Dixie's review. Like many people did, she reviewed a 2.0. They'd come out with a 2.2. That review, I believe, created a huge demand for their product. And they were cranking these tents out super fast without the quality control. Probably, I don't know. That's all speculation. I don't know that for sure. I tried to contact them and talk with them about that. They didn't want to discuss it. But they will replace this tent. This, as you see in my video, this tent ended up leaking like a sieve. It was a budget tent, $55. I was very disappointed because the quality workmanship seemed to be there in this tent. It seemed to be a great tent. And yes, it will compact better than this. I just stuffed it in the sack. You properly fold it, it's about halfway. It only fills up about half of the sack. But, and they will replace this, okay? But the disappointment with the tent was there for me. The fact that it leaked on me, it really hurt my opinion of this product. Hopefully they'll come back with something fantastic that can rival this product. I hope they will. But this is a Lanshan, however you want to pronounce it, 2-person tent. Has 2 vestibules on it. 2-person, you ain't gonna get 2 of me in this tent, okay? Number one. But this is a much roomier tent, but this tent is waterproof for the packability, how lightweight this tent is, the cost of this tent. I'm going to tell you, I do not believe that today in 2020 there is a better tent for price, weight, and functionality. You're not going to get a better tent than this Lanshan 2. This is the one to beat, guys. Yeah, you can go spend $600 on a Z-Packs, but people who aren't through hiking, I don't know that you should do that, because that's spending a whole lot of money on something. Unless you just got plenty of money to burn, go ahead. You can't beat this tent. And I wish, because as you can see, now I've had to spend the cost of this tent that I will never use again, and because it leaks. So if I had waited, saved a little bit more money, and bought this tent, I wouldn't have had the extra money spent on this. So that's one of the things I've learned. Spend a little bit more money, get something better, and you're going to be happier with it in the long run. Now, moving on. Here is one that goes the other way. Everybody raved about these Lone Peak 4 shoes because they've got the wide toe box, they've got the 0 drop, they're lightweight, and they'll dry out. I love them. I love the way they feel. They're very comfortable. I did not like how much these boots cost, because they cost what really well-made name brand boots cost to buy. They're made in China. And I've watched several thru hikers videos. Every single one of these people that wears these shoes, they blow out right here in this area. You would end up with a massive hole after about 300 miles. For me, they're very slick on wet surfaces. They don't grip very well. And I hate this little flap thing that they put in the back if you're driving a car. That's really annoying. But for me, for the cost and the durability of this shoe, it's not something that I'm going to purchase again. If I'm going to spend this kind of money on a product, then I'm going to go with a pair of Keens, Merrells, Salomons, Vask, something nicer than this, because these have had to, they crush down when I go to put them on. So I had to use these pull tabs, and the pull tabs are already ripping out. I haven't blown mine out yet because I haven't put enough miles on them. But for me, these aren't worth what you pay for them. I'm sorry. I know a lot of you people love them and will probably swear by them and never use anything but for me, I'm going to stick with a budget shoe over that. These are Novatos. They're $38. Yes, they're made in China too, but they are durable enough that I don't have the issues that I have with these. For me, these have a better grip than these do, and they cost way less. I could buy 3 pairs of these for what 1 pair of these cost. Easily, almost 4. So that is the one thing on the table here that kind of goes the other way for me. I have to have a wide. This does come in a wide. These worked well for me. But if I'm going to spend a whole lot of money on a shoe, I'm going to go with a name brand next time if I'm spending that kind of money. So that is the only exception I've got on this table. This video is made to try to get you to understand that going the budget route isn't always the best for you, because if you have a tight budget, you're going to end up spending more money. Some things are personal preference. You can argue that about the boots. You can argue that with a sleeping pad, okay? But your body size, type, how you sleep, this is like I said, this is personal. You can argue that with the shoes, but this was a gear issue. This is a gear issue. This is a quality. Budget isn't always going to save you money. Sometimes it's going to cost you more. So learn from the mistakes that I've made. my experience, move on. Look at what other hikers are using. Look at their reviews. Learn from them. And you won't spend a lot of your money on products that you're just going to do away with and just have to replace soon. So I'm 1 year in. I'm learning. And hopefully we all are. Hopefully that helps some of you out there. This is way too long for a video. I'm gone, baby.